Welcome to the round 12 review. This video will include the review of the players plus my live reaction to my rank. I haven't seen it myself yet. I scored 1996, but let's see what it is. Hope I went up. Oh, alright. Okay, that's good. Very nice. So yeah, I scored 1966. Top 3%, that's nice. My round rank 5k, that's alright. Went up my season rank by 200, which is nice. Won 9 out of 10 leagues. I take that a lot, to be honest. Alright. Before I get into the team, last video I said I wasn't going to do any trades this round. Turns out I did. Oops. Turns out I did. I did Mitchell for Briggs, doing some shuffling around. Mitchell was laid out with illness, so I thought I'd go to Briggs, and it definitely worked out. Before the first Saturday game, I had to look through how stuff is going to work with trades and whatnot. If I bring Briggs in, and I'll pull this up here. So this is not bringing Briggs in and holding Mitchell. Then this bottom row is bringing him in, and pretty much. And here's the buy structure with him. So with Briggs, my buys are better, and I finished my team earlier. But the negative is that I need to get cheaper premium here compared to a Walsh. A Darcy Cameron instead of a Walsh. So, I mean, that was at least the plan before this round, but with a lot of carnage and fraud premiums, it'll obviously have to change. Started in defence, 127 with Stewart. Yeah, did pretty well. I was watching 3 games at that time, so it was kind of tough to keep up with certain players. But yeah, it did pretty well. Since I brought him in, I feel like he's averaged like 115 odd. Brought him in here, so it's been pretty good. Day cost 123. Had the VC on him. 123 is a fine score to take. Lots of people were going to Bont or Merritt. Before Bont played, I think Bont was the call. I was gonna say if Bont went massive, I would just chuck the C on Merritt, but Bont didn't go massive, so I didn't. But I think Merritt scored really well, but we'll get to him. But I think I'm fine with the captaincy situation. Zeeble, oh man, Zeeble. Lost 50k, absolute fraud. He's literally like the oldest man to consistently be in our Supercoach sides. He's been really good since I've picked him up, but just like very frustrating. What's his break even? 172. Sheasel, 72. Just missed his break even. Lost 4k. Has a high break even now. Yeah, with Zeeble and Sheasel, with Rattanen and Clarko on indefinite leave or whatever, he's kind of just put Hall in there, and everything that Zeeble and Sheasel did to get points, especially Zeeble, Hall's just doing it now. Examples of stuff like this would include like kickouts and distributing off half back, and Hall actually played pretty well. I wonder what he scored. $83. So the points are just being shared evenly across the back line. It's just it was very frustrating to watch that game. Weddle 90. I mean, when are we going to consider this man a premium? No, I'm kidding. But yeah, outscored Day in that game, but very impressive, very good. Had a real shocker to start with. You know, he was on Jeremy Finlayson, and you know, it's pretty poor on him, and a few goals kicked him in really early on. Very impressive for a rookie to score that well when your side gets smashed like that. Bont 113. That was alright. He was on, I think, 50 at quarter time. So I was obviously happy, but not putting the C on him was a bit frustrating. And then so sell it out to 113. I'm happy with that. Not going too crazy over day costs. That's alright. Merritt 137. He had one of the best first quarters in history. Like 16 disposals, 2 goals, 5 clearances. And he was on 70 something, right? I was like, he's on track for 200. He's on track for whatever, right? But then Ratton chucked a shield tag on him, and then was really quiet, pretty much only gained 20 points in the second and third quarter, but last quarter went nuts again, so very good from him. Led 113. Yeah, I think he got barely any tackles in this game. Dawson 106. It's just disappointing dropping some money for people that to bring him in. That's frustrating, especially right before versing West Coast. Green 89, not much to say really. Just plodding along. Really high break even. Will Day, oh my god. I swear, every time I look at the premium, it's like, oh, they dropped a bad score for them even though they're good. Or they're fraud. Day. Break even 1 or 2, that's so much lower than I expected, to be honest. Jeez, he's a frustrating player to watch. I think it was pretty good early. I think it was on early, but like, the best way to put it is Weddle. I would prefer to have a Weddle next week. Like, I would say Weddle will probably score higher this day next week. Simple as that. Weddle would break even, also 38, so make more money. Awesome. Sincotta came back in, scored 61. 61 is just like an average rookie score. Happy to have him in. Marshall 156, really good, getting back to his best. Not too much to say. Briggs, brought him in. I feel like he got scaled down like almost 10 points, but yeah, really good. Still negative 32 break even. Gained almost 90k. Awesome. Only frustrating thing is that that's the last squad I'm going to field him with, unless there's injuries, but hopefully there's not. Toronto 111. Thought he had a much better game, but poor disposal efficiency kind of limited the score, like usually for him. Rosie was really quiet early on, only got a 98. Cogs, hey, another fake premium. Woohoo. Jeez. Humphrey, saving grace of this team. Like, how good is Humphrey? Break even is going to be 38. Pretty much tonned up, making heaps of money. Lovely. Pretty much a premium now. Like, 3-round average is 96. Ford, very quiet. I thought he got to 50, but I think he scaled down. Disappointing. Still made 70k. Still negative 17 break even. Without that massive break even, he would be in the mud a bit. So yeah, the trade I had planned for this week, previous round, was Humphrey and Weddle to Brayshaw and a 123k rookie. Now, then on the players I want to trade out. Players I want to trade out this week are Zeeble and Day. Hopefully to 2 premiums, since if I'm trading out 2 premiums I want to get at least 2 in, right? Plus, I don't really need to buy flip anybody. I kind of expected Humphrey to score poor, to be honest. Didn't show my faith. So let's just explore the options here. After some brewing, I've come up with this idea. Zeeble and Day out, Weddle out, Neil, Brayshaw and Melican in. So the other way, I had Lloyd in and then Sincotta out instead of Weddle. Weddle, if he scores a 77, he'll make another 17k. So I'm just like cutting that loss. Like, that's a loss I have to take, right? But what this does here is that it gets an upgrade I want to get done, which is Day out for somebody. Now, yeah, ideally I wouldn't want to sideways Zeeble to somebody, but it's just, just going to keep losing money. It's got to trade him out when he has the money in him. Now it does leave 46k in the bank, which is alright. But I think I'll sit with this for now. Neon, he's averaging alright scores. Guess I could bring in Chad Warner instead, but nah. But yeah, I think I'll just sit with this. I'll play around with. I'm going to see now who will be on field for me. Just having a look at now what it will look like if I field a full team, like regardless of buys, like what this team will look like after the buys. And pretty much all I have is 2 upgrades to go. Humphrey's going pretty well. He could turn to a premium, but it's interesting, definitely. What I'm a bit nervous about is my trade count, to be honest, because I didn't think about trading. I wasn't going to trade last week and use a trade, and I wasn't going to use 3 trades this week, use 3 trades. So I'm down 2 trades in 2 weeks that I wasn't really sure about, but I think that's alright. I think we can cope with that, especially with the money that Briggs is going to bring us. Just hope we're fine post-buy. But yeah, let's say the team's done, and like it's after the buys, I'm fielding 2 upgrades, which is alright. But obviously it's not after the buys, so it'll look like this. Fielding enough premiums that I should fielding 19 premiums, so I should be able to get a pretty good score with 18 players. Actually, I might just look at the captaincy. So who we got here? Saints give up to defenders, nothing really there. That'll be a pretty tough game for a player to score massive in. Could be a Dunkley VC here, but it's at the MCG. How have Brisbane 2 defenders? Look at Sicily. They don't have it. Alright. Oh, Laird or Dawson, Adelaide Oval. That seems pretty nice. So I could do like a Laird into somebody. I don't know. We'll have a look at it. Probably. Maybe Dunkley into Laird. Is it cool? I don't know. I'll have to have a look at it later. But yeah, this is a team. Hope you had a good week. I saw the team that won the weekly. Had a interesting team. Still having Stocker in there. Having, Noah Long on the bench. Stuck on the bench. And you have the confusing team, but that's a bias for you, right? Like, second place is Jason Gilby in them. Anyway, hope you have a good week. I'll probably make another video later about when the team sheets come out. I might do a bit more planning with this trade here, but so far this is a trade I'm doing. Not fully confident in it. I have to look at it a bit more. I would like to hold Weddle, but it is what it is. So we'll see you later. See ya.